Hello, this is Chuck with Team Got a Dream, and we're going to do this little video to show you how to invite to a webinar. And what kind of webinar is it? Well, it's a presentation webinars, and we'll talk about that. But I'm going to go over some things here about everything that we're going to cover in this video. How do I invite to a webinar? What do I say? If they agree to be on the webinar, what do I do next? What if they're busy? What if they ask, what is it? If they attend the webinar, what do I do when it's over? What do I do when they have questions? How do I handle objections? And last but not least, things to keep in mind when doing these webinar invitations. Where do I find out about the webinars? Well, the webinars are presented by ranking leaders of World Ventures from across the country, giving your guests accurate and complete information to make a decision on joining us. All webinars with dates, times, and links will be posted on Team Got a Dream Facebook page. When appropriate, we will also send out email and text notifications. And if you wish to receive text notifications for webinars, you want to text the words follow Team Got a Dream, follow space Team Got a Dream, that is, follow space Team Got a Dream to the number 40404. Now, you do not have to have a Twitter account to receive that particular feed. But if for some reason that doesn't work for you, text your name to Chuck at 828-772-6565 and ask to be added to the webinar notifications list. So what does a webinar invitation look like? Well, it doesn't look a whole lot different than a regular invitation, but there are a few adjustments that you'll need to make. The first line is actually going to be exactly the same as any other invitation. So it might sound like this: Hey John, what are you doing tonight at 7? What are you doing at 7 tonight, in other words? And if he says nothing, so does that sound familiar? It should sound familiar like any other invitation. And if he says nothing, then this is where it gets a little different. I'm going to be on a 30-minute webinar about a project I'm working on. Would you join me so I can get your opinion? And if he says yes, great. Should I text you the link or email it to you? And then text or email him the link, depending on what he says, to him with the start time, and tell them to get on early to make sure it's all working. And then at 30-minute intervals, or at 30 minutes prior to the start of the webinar, send him a text email reminder and say, see you online. People get busy, so giving them that little heads up and that little reminder makes a huge difference. So what could another invite example be? It could be, hey Mary, what are you doing tomorrow night at 8? If nothing, I will be on a 30-minute webinar at that time that I know you'll find interesting. If I email or text you the link, would you attend the webinar with me? And if she says yes, great. Should I text or email you the link? Great. Should I text you the link or email it to you? Number 4, then text or email the link to them with a start time and tell them to get on early and to make sure it's working. And then again, at 30 minutes prior to start, send them the text or email reminder and say, see you online. So here's another example. Now, these are all different examples. You want to kind of adjust them to your own personality, but don't deviate from these examples too much, because you might, run astray. And we'll show you how to get over some of those humps that might come up during your invitation. So here's another one. Hi, Betty. What are you doing tonight at 7? If nothing, great. I'm going to send you a link for a 30-minute webinar that I know you'll find intriguing. Should I text you the link or should I email it to you? And then confirm. So you'll be able to join me tonight at 7 once I get you the link. And then if yes, then text or email the link to them with the start time and tell them to get on early to make sure it's working. And then at the 30-minute mark prior to the start, send them a text or email reminder saying see you online. So here's another example. Hi Jeff, real quick. I saw that there's a webinar at 7 tomorrow and I thought of you. If I sent you the link, would you get on it with me? If yes, great. Should I text you the link or email it to you? Then text or email a link to him with the start time and tell them to get on early and make sure it's working. And then at 30 minutes prior to start, send them the text email reminder saying see you online. So it's that easy. But sometimes you get a little hiccups. So say, for example, if they're not so agreeable as I just went over, what if they say something like, no, I'm busy, or they can't? You can say, cool, I'll check with you another time. No different than any other invite. So what if they say, what is it? And again, this is going to be no different either. With a slight little tweak. If they say, what is it? Then you say, it's the biggest thing I've ever seen. Should I email you or text you the link? Another response could be, something big I'm working on. Should I email or text you the link? So notice that you're coming back to the question there. No different than a regular invite when it comes to inviting to a travel party. So will I see you there Tuesday night at 7 o'clock? Always end with a question, because then you put the question into their hands where they have to give you an answer. So what do I do after the webinar? Well, first of all, you want to make sure that they actually attended the webinar. So if you can't see their name online on the webinar itself, then the first thing you do is when you do call them, just go ahead and say, so I didn't see your name on the webinar. Did you attend the webinar? And if they say yes, then you can say, oh, okay, so pretty cool, huh? What did you like best about that? The travel, the money, or both? And if they say travel or money or both, then you say, me too. It sounds like you're getting, let me do that again. So if they say travel, money, or both, you say, me too. So it sounds like you're ready to get started with me. Let me give you my link. And then you give them your link, whatever your name is on your link, .worldventures.biz. Now you can text or email them the link, but you want to make sure that they sign up immediately. And I would stay on the phone with them, walk them through the sign up process over the phone. If they are having trouble or aren't very tech savvy, pull up your site on your computer and take their information over the phone. And then in worst case scenario, your computer doesn't work, theirs doesn't work, use a paper application if having trouble with the online process, and then you can put it in as soon as your computer's up and running. So what if they have questions? If there are questions that you cannot answer to their satisfaction, call in a third party, someone in your upline, so that they can help answer the questions. But after answering each question, if there is some things that you can answer for them, always ask, do you have any other questions, or are you ready to get started with me? So anytime you answer a single question, you always go back to the closing question. So do you have any other questions, or are you ready to get started with me? If they start asking negative questions or making negative comments, then the best thing to do in that situation is to do a takeaway and say, look, this is clearly not for you, but thanks for taking the time to check this out. So answering objections. Again, the objections are not going to be any different than any other presentation, but whatever your guest's objection is, there are several ways to answer it. So one of the ways is to relate to the objection and say, yeah, I know how you feel. I felt that way too, but this is what I found. So it's the feel, felt, found. This is taught in Eric Worre's book, Go Pro. Highly recommend that book. It will help you in this business. Number two, you can tell a story that relates to their objection, because facts tell, but it's the stories that sell. Number three, if the objection is time or money, which are the two most common objections, just reply, that's why I'm showing this to you. Then tell a story about someone who is either time or money broke. So some things to keep in mind. Now, this is the webinar presentations, the webinar invitations, all these things, the webinar way of doing things with World Ventures is not the end all be all. This is very beneficial for those people that are long distance presentations. This would really come in handy. But you don't want to get away from doing the belly to belly stuff where you're meeting people in a coffee shop, you're coming over to their house, or you're having them over to your house, or you're having them to a travel party. So this is just one other way, and this can be another level of engagement. This can be another exposure for the people that you're trying to get this in front of. So regardless of the outcome of the webinar presentation to your guests, yes, no, or maybe, always follow up with an email expressing your gratitude for their time, as well as giving them appropriate information in relation to their response and possible questions. If they are starting with a membership, set up a time to help them navigate the Dream Trips site. Highly, highly important. If they've gotten into the business, connect them by phone to someone in your upline, as well as showing them the readily accessible training tools such as Quick Coach. And you'll find those on YouTube, on the World Ventures channel, as well as on your Dream Trips app. Invite and encourage reps to attend the next training event and help them get tickets. If the Dream Trips member is on Facebook, connect them to the Team Got a Dream Trips membership page and post their picture with the "You Should Be Here" sign. If they're a rep on Facebook, connect them to the Team Got a Dream Facebook page and post their picture with the "You Should Be Here" sign. If they're in both, post them to both pages. But above all, celebrate the activity regardless of the outcome. You have just presented to somebody, and going through the numbers is the most important aspect that will ensure your success with World Ventures. So celebrate that activity, keep doing it, keep studying, keep learning, keep practicing, go over this video more than once, and we'll see you on the beaches of the world. Thanks for watching this video.